All right, guys. So let's get to the solution here. Okay, just a quick little reminder. What we went ahead and did. We're trying to have inter-VLAN connectivity. So we want the blue computer to talk to the blue computer, and then the blue computer to go ahead and talk to the pink computer. So that's essentially what we want to go ahead and happen. Just a quick little reminder, if you've been following along since part 2, just realized that I used the duplicate IP address 192.168.0.1 for this pink computer, and I also used it for what would have been the IP address for the router. However, that's, I want to say, almost irrelevant because technically we already created the access ports. It shouldn't have affected our should have not affected our testing, and most importantly, it did not affect the purpose, what we wanted to demonstrate. The fact is that the mistake on the previous video was we were using one network address for multiple VLANs, and as you can see, the pings were not successful. Okay, so if you caught that onto that, just want to go ahead, just clear that up. But nonetheless, we changed this, so we're gonna have connectivity, and I'm gonna show you guys. And I actually already did it in the background. And if you stick around with this video, I'm also gonna show you exactly how I did it. So we're gonna go ahead and add an additional IP address. So we're gonna add the network address of 192.168.20.0/24. This here is gonna go ahead and be our zero. Excuse me, this is going to be our 20 dot, I believe it was going to be 1. And we can check. I believe I did the configurations already. And look at that. We have it. Our default gateway is going to be 192.168.20.1. Let's actually make this 10. Okay, so that way you guys can go ahead, and we don't have that same address. All right, one device, one address, so to speak. So now on this one, this is going to be our 20.4. Okay, and let's go ahead and check the configurations on the computer. 20.4. The default gateway is 192.168.20.1. Perfect. Okay. So basically, let me just show you the router really quick. We're going to go to enable. We're going to go to show run. Okay. And look at that. We have our interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0/0/20. We have it with the encapsulation .1Q. The VLAN ID is 20. The IP address 192.168.20.1. Okay. So just to catch you guys up on this, and mind you, we're going to do this once again. We're going to add additional computer, and we'll go from there. But we added a network. Okay. 192.168.20.1. We configured this computer on that particular network. We made it 20.10. We configured this computer on that particular network. We made it 20.4. And on our router, we added an additional sub interface with that IP address of 192.168.20.1. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's test this. Okay, so ideally, this blue computer should be able to talk to the blue computer, and it should be able to talk to the pink computer. Technically, all of this is connected. Okay, uh, it should be able to ping. I shouldn't say it's necessarily connected because they are still on different VLANs, right? We already talked about the key topic here is physical versus logical. Physically, they're connected. Logically, they are not. They are on different rooms, so to speak. Okay, but let's go ahead and ping so you guys can see ping 192.168.20.10. Let's ping it. So this computer here is going to go ahead and ping this computer here. And let's see what we get. Oh, look at that. We get a reply. That's great. Now, can blue talk to this blue here, which is 192.168.0.3? Let's double check that. And look at that, we have connectivity. Now let's go ahead and ping what would be PC1, which is 192.168.0 dot excuse me, it's 20 dot what would be 4. I believe it's 4. Let's check. It is. Got it. So we ping. Perfect. So look at that, guys. At this point in time, we have successful inter-VLAN connectivity. So this computer can go ahead and ping this computer can go ahead and ping this computer, so on and so forth. Now, we're going to go ahead and add an additional VLAN just so you guys know exactly what I did. Okay. That way you guys can go ahead and figure out exactly what I did. So we're going to go ahead and let's do orange. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get orange here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and make this VLAN 30. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. We have our VLAN 30. We're gonna go ahead and let's go and go here. We're gonna make this 192 192.168.30.0 with a /24 mask. Okay, perfect. So we got that there. Uh, 4. There we go. That looks better. So we're going to go ahead, add an additional computer. We have our computer here, okay? And we're going to go ahead and let's make this organized here. That way everything looks nice, neat, and presentable. So we're here. So we added additional computer and we're going to make this a different VLAN, okay? We're going to make this a different VLAN. Remember, remember the point of the moral of the story. For every VLAN, if we want to have inter-VLAN connectivity, that means this network going out to the internet or going ahead and having connection with it in each other, we need to have an additional network address, okay? So, a subnetwork address. So we have this computer here. We're going to go ahead and make sure we connect this. So I connect the computer to the switch. Let's go ahead with fast Ethernet 0/1. I'm going to go into my computer. I'm going to go ahead and let's go. We don't want Bluetooth. We want, actually, I like going to desktop and IP configurations. So we're going to go with 192.168.30. Let's make this .10. Subnet mask is a /24. The default gateway, which is what we need to configure on the router, we're going to make that 192.168.30.1. Okay, so that PC is configured. Excellent. We have our end host configured. Now we need to make sure if this is going to be part of the VLAN, we need to make sure and we configure the switch. So we need to go ahead and make that fast Ethernet. And we're going to go to enable config T. We're going to go ahead and we're going to configure the access port on fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, so once again, switch port mode access. Got it. Switch port access VLAN. Excellent. Oh, incomplete command. What did we miss? That's going to be VLAN 30. And it says access VLAN does not exist, creating VLAN 30. Okay, so perfect. So that's going ahead. I like to check our work. So let's go to show VLAN brief. Okay, and look at that. We didn't name it. We could always name it, but for just for the interest of time, we'll just leave it as is. VLAN 30, we have fast Ethernet 0/1 on there. Now we need to go to our router. Okay, we need to go to our router. We go to our router. We're going to go to the same link. Okay, we're going to create a sub interface. So we go to interface gigabit 0/0/0.30. Okay, we created that. We're going to go to, and here's the command, okay, encap dot 1q VLAN ID is 30. Okay, we're going to input the IP address. IP address 192.168.30.1 subnet max 255.255.255.0. Bingo, we're done. We exit, we exit. Let's go to show run and look at that. We have remember, we have our link. Okay, we have the actual physical interface 0/0/0. Then we have our logical interfaces. Okay, this here, let's get rid of this. Uh, let's go ahead, and this technically shouldn't be on there. That was with the previous ones, but we can get rid of that. But look, we have our logical interface. It's a sub interface. That period and then whatever number you have would go create that sub interface, which we have the .10, we have the .20, we have the .30, and we have it for each respective VLAN ID. Okay, so let's go ahead and look into that. Look at that. That's perfect. Let's go ahead and let's do this real quick. We're going to get rid of this here. Wasn't on the schedule, so to speak, but we can get rid of that. We're going to go to what I like to do is I'm going to copy this. We copy this, copy. We go to the configuration. We type in our no, and then we're going to go to our paste, and then we click that, and then we exit. We click the show run, and voila, that interface is no longer there. Okay, we just have our physical interface 0/0/0. We have our logical interfaces. Okay, and let's go ahead and test the connectivity. So I go to PC4. Okay, PC4. This is where we know whether or not we did this correctly. So PC4. Okay, the first thing I want to make sure I can ping is our default gateway. Remember, we kind of organized the VLANs and the IP addresses accordingly. So the 192.168.30.1 is technically this router here. Okay, it's the default gateway. We pinged it, it's successful. Okay, that's great. Now, let's go ahead and ping pink. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ping 92.168.20.10. Okay, I pinged pink. That's successful. Now I'm going to go ahead and ping blue, which is 192.168.0.3. Okay, and look at that. I pinged blue. So now we have a successful inter-VLAN connectivity. I showed you guys how to go ahead and create the sub interfaces. I showed you guys basically beforehand, we have access port. This is our trunk port. This is our trunk port, access port, access port, access port, access port. And we have our three VLANs here. VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. Each respective VLAN has to have its own network, so to speak, its own IP network. As you can see here, we have the 0.0, 0.20, 0.30. The only thing I could have done to make this a little bit better for the eyes was maybe change this to 0.10. But nonetheless, the commands are still the same. The idea is still the same. And now you have a solution for what would be inter-VLAN connectivity. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, we'll go ahead and we'll leave it there. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day.